Google Ads can be one of the most profitable sales channels for your e-commerce business, especially when it comes to shopping ads. If you're just starting out with e-commerce Google Ads and want fast sales for your store, you definitely want to watch this beginner's guide to e-commerce Google Ads. You'll find out exactly how Google Ads works for e-commerce, the key settings you need to get right so you don't waste money, and a step-by-step plan on how to launch your first campaign for generating sales on your store. Hi, if we haven't met before, I'm Daryl. I've been in the Google Ads game for over 15 years now, and I've been running my own Google Ads agency called Big Flare for over 12 of those years. I've helped hundreds of e-commerce stores to scale profitably with Google Ads, and everything I share here comes straight from real-world examples and years of hands-on experience, not theory. Stick with me and you'll see how to turn Google Ads into a system that reliably brings in sales and grows your store's revenue. Google offers 6 different types of campaigns that you can run: search, shopping, display, video, demand gen, and performance max. Let me break them down quickly so you get the full picture. Search campaigns are the classic Google text ads that shows up when someone types in the keywords that you have chosen to target. These ads usually show at the top and are pure text. You decide which searches you want to appear for, like metal wall art, for example. When someone searches for those terms, your ad can then appear right there in the results. Display campaigns are the visual image ads that you see on websites all over the internet. For e-commerce, these ads can work really well, but only if you use them the right way. The best use of display ads is showing ads to people who have already visited your site before, and this is called retargeting. With retargeting, we can remind shoppers about your products and bring them back again to complete their purchase if they didn't do that the first time around, or maybe buy again if they already bought something in the past. But when it comes to cold traffic, meaning people who have never heard of your store before, display ads are really hard to get profitable for e-commerce. In fact, a lot of e-commerce stores will never get cold traffic display ads to work for them. So as a beginner, if you're going to run a display campaign, make sure you only focus on retargeting and avoid cold traffic audiences. Video campaigns run on YouTube and Google's video partner sites. They let you tell your story with video, showing your product in action, explaining the benefits, or building your brand personality. For e-commerce, the most effective way to use video ads is for retargeting once again, just like with display ads. If someone has already visited your store but didn't buy, a video ad on YouTube can remind them of your product in a much more engaging way. And when it comes to cold traffic, that is, people who have never heard of your store before, video ads are again hard to make profitable. And that's why if you're a beginner, I don't normally recommend starting with video ads. Focus on the easy wins first with retargeting audiences if you're doing video. Now, the big difference compared to display ads is this. Once you're more experienced and have a bigger budget, I think video can become a really strong growth channel. If you can afford to create lots of videos and test them, cold traffic YouTube ads have a much better chance of success than display ads. I often recommend them to more advanced e-commerce advertisers who have plateaued on the low-hanging fruit Google Ads campaigns, and now they're looking for more scale. Demand gen is Google's more visual, newer campaign type. It serves engaging image and video ads across places like YouTube, YouTube Shorts, Display, the Discover feed in the Google mobile app, and Gmail. Demand gen ads help you reach more people who aren't yet searching but might be open to discovering your products. They're really useful for building interest and reaching new audiences. The standard shopping campaign is very powerful for e-commerce. With this type of campaign, your products appear directly in Google at the top with the photo, title, price, and your store name. So if someone searches for metal wall art, they don't just see a wall of text ads, they'll see your actual product image and price right there in the search results. Shopping ads is a format that Google specifically created for e-commerce advertisers. When Google detects someone is searching for a product, it almost always shows a bunch of shopping ads right at the top. And users hunting for products to buy love shopping ads. They'll often end up clicking the one they like most and buying that. So that's why for e-commerce advertisers on Google, shopping ads is the most important ad format to focus on. It's where most of your Google Ads revenue is going to come from. And finally, we have Performance Max campaigns, or PMax for short. This is Google's all-in-one campaign type. It takes your products and creative assets, your images, videos, headlines, descriptions, and it shows them across all of Google's main channels, including search, shopping, YouTube, display, and more. When you run Performance Max for e-commerce, most of its focus still goes into shopping ads. You can think of PMax like a shopping ads plus a bit of search and retargeting campaign. PMax can show ads across any of Google's campaign types, but it also optimizes automatically to focus only on the areas of Google that actually get you sales. So it usually very quickly learns to focus mostly on shopping ads, then it does a little bit of search text ads, and then it sprinkles in a little bit of display and video retargeting usually as well. So while it's useful to know all the campaign types, the three that matter most for you as a beginner e-commerce advertiser are search, shopping, and Performance Max. And honestly, if you're just starting out, the Performance Max campaign type is likely the best choice because you only need to set up one campaign and then you're going to get ads across all the places that matter most for you as an e-commerce advertiser. Now, before we dive into the setup, let's look at the real reason why so many e-commerce brands actually succeed with Google Ads. When you run an online store, not all visitors are the same. Some people are just browsing, others are ready to buy right now. Google Ads is powerful because it gives you access to the people who are already in buying mode. When someone searches for a product keyword, for example, buy curtains, they're not just curious, they are showing real intent to make a purchase. They are potentially sitting there with their credit card out, ready to buy right now. That's very different from someone scrolling through Facebook or Instagram where they weren't even thinking about shopping until an ad distracted them. On social media, people are mostly in discovery mode. They might save your product or think about it later at best, but on Google, they're often searching with a clear goal to compare options, check prices, or buy today. So that means the traffic you pay for in Google Ads is just so much closer to becoming a sale. Think of social media as planting seeds. You get attention and you can build your brand awareness, but it takes time. And Google Ads is more like harvesting. You're showing up exactly when someone is ready to buy right now. And that makes it one of the most reliable channels to generate immediate revenue. With Google Ads, you decide which searches your product appears for. That means if someone is looking for the exact product you sell, you can place your ad right in front of them at the exact moment that they were looking for it. That timing is what makes Google Ads so effective. And this power becomes even stronger with Google Shopping Ads, which are the most effective type of ad for e-commerce stores. They put your product photo, price, title, and store name directly in front of people who are actively shopping right now. And this makes it easy for them to notice your brand and choose your product. Instead of just reading a few lines of text, they immediately see this carousel of products with prices and pictures. Now this does two things. Firstly, it filters out unqualified clicks. People already know the price before they click, and they already know what the product looks like. Secondly, it attracts higher quality traffic because those who do click are seriously interested in buying. For e-commerce stores, this is a game changer. It's not just an ad, it's your whole product catalog placed directly on Google in front of millions of people who are actively searching. So now you understand why Google Ads is so valuable for e-commerce, let's look at how it actually works. Because once you know the system, it becomes much easier to turn ad spend into sales revenue. At its heart, Google works like an auction. Every time someone types a search into Google, the system holds like a mini auction behind the scenes to decide which advertisers' ads are going to appear on the page. And the thing being sold in that auction is the click. Every advertiser picks a bid that is the maximum amount they are willing to pay per ad click. But just bidding high doesn't always win. Google also looks at how good and relevant your ad is and how good your landing page is. These quality factors help decide which ads appear and in which order, and also which ads don't appear. If you bid higher than others, your ad has a better chance to show more often or near the top. But the rub is you'll pay more for each click. If you bid lower, your clicks will cost less, but your ad might be shown less often or lower down the page. It's really important to remember you only pay when someone clicks your ad. Just because your ad was shown, it doesn't mean you have to pay. You only pay when the click happens. Now here's where it gets interesting. In the old days, we had to set every cost per click bid manually. But today, Google has automated bidding strategies that do most of that heavy lifting for you. Instead of manually deciding your cost per click, you choose the right bid strategy. And when you do this, you give Google a clear goal to reach, And then Google automates the process of deciding each cost per click bid for you. For example, your bidding strategy might be to hit a specific return on every dollar spent. But what's really happening in the background is you're still bidding for clicks. The difference is that Google's AI is now automatically setting those click bids for each individual ad in real time based on the goal you gave it, what it knows about the user, and the data it has on your product and website. You just set the goal, and then Google works to hit it. Okay, now let's look at the different types of campaigns you can actually run inside Google Ads. Before you launch your first campaign, there are a few fundamentals that you need to set up. Think of them like the foundation of a house. If the foundation isn't solid, everything you build on top can crack. The first part of the foundation is making sure Google Ads understands your goal. We do this with conversion tracking. So a conversion is just a name for a valuable action that happens on your website. It could be a form submission, a newsletter sign up, an ebook download, but in e-commerce, it normally means a sale. To keep track of how many conversions you're getting, or how many sales you're getting, and how much revenue it's bringing in, you need to set up conversion tracking. Now, conversion tracking makes sure that every time someone clicks your ad and completes a purchase, that sale is recorded inside your Google Ads account. This way you can clearly see which campaigns are bringing in sales and which ones are wasting budget. Without good conversion tracking, you'd have no reliable way of knowing what's working and what's not in Google Ads. There are a few ways you can set up conversion tracking. For example, if you're on Shopify, there's a free Google and YouTube app that helps simplify the process for you. Showing you how to set up conversion tracking is not really in the scope of this video, but if you do want a full guide on that, check the links in the description below, and I've popped a video guide for you down there. Next up, you need to have a Google Merchant Center account to be able to run your shopping ads. This is a free Google tool where you upload all your product information, like what you sell, the prices, the images, descriptions, etc. Think of it as Google's copy of your online store catalog. Your products live there before they can show up as shopping ads. And the product feed is what actually fills that catalog. A product feed, also known as a data feed, is basically a spreadsheet, .txt or .xml file that contains all your product information and sends all your product details like names, prices, images, and descriptions straight from your online store into Google Merchant Center. For most e-commerce stores, especially if you're on Shopify or WooCommerce, the product feed is generated automatically with an app or a plugin, and it keeps your catalog up to date. So if you change a price on your store, that same price gets updated in Google Merchant Center through the feed. So to get shopping ads running for your e-commerce store, think of it like this. There are 4 main components you need. Of course, you have your store and you have your Google Ads account. You then create a product feed, connect that feed to Google Merchant Center, and connect Google Merchant Center to Google Ads. If you haven't set up your Google Merchant Center or you're not sure if it's set up correctly, don't worry, I'll leave a link for a video tutorial in the description below. Now comes the fun part, actually launching your first campaign. Let's go step by step and set it up together. Inside your Google Ads account, click the blue button for New Campaign and then select Sales as your objective. For conversion goal, you need Purchase, and you don't need anything else here, so I'm going to remove these 2 other ones. And then you can click Continue. Select Performance Max as your campaign type. This is the all-in-one campaign that we were talking about earlier. It will connect with your Merchant Center product feed, so your products can appear as shopping ads across Google. So make sure this box here is ticked to advertise products from your Merchant Center, and make sure your Merchant Center account is shown here. Give your campaign a clear name. For example, PMAX All Products. This helps to keep things organized once you've got multiple campaigns. For bidding strategy, you want to focus on conversion value, and that will be the maximize conversion value bid strategy. That simply means Google will try to get you as much sales revenue as possible from your budget. Now, at the beginning, do not set a target return on ad spend or ROAS. Wait until you have at least 50 sales in 30 days before using those advanced settings. Leave adjusting bids for acquiring new customers unchecked and click Next. Choose your target country and language. For example, if you only sell in the US, select United States and English. No political ads is checked, and I will dismiss this notification about it up here and then click Next. So skip this AI asset generation bit, and here you'll now build your asset groups. Think of these as ad packages. A good rule of thumb is to have one asset group per product category. For example, one for shoes, one for backpacks. For this example, I'll make this asset group for bathroom products and name it like that. This makes your ads more relevant to each type of product. All right, in this section, you want to add in your landing page URL and all your headlines and descriptions. So let me pause the video and do that real quick. Okay, here you see I've added my headlines and descriptions. Make sure to add a variety of different types of headlines that include your keywords, your brand name, some call to actions, and some benefits or unique selling points. Same goes for descriptions, but headlines are the most important, so focus on getting those right. Then you want to upload 15 to 20 high quality photos in different aspect ratios, square, landscape, and portrait. In the images tab, click on plus images. Here you'll see different options for selecting images for your campaign. You can use suggested images that Google pulls from your final URL, or you can scan another website or social media. You can choose from images already saved in your asset library if you have those, and you can also generate images with Google AI, or you can use product images from your linked Merchant Center account. You can also scan your website for images, upload from your computer, Dropbox, or Google Drive. Finally, there's an option to enter business or product keywords and find free stock images. Now for this example, I'll just upload some of the images already saved in the account's asset library and click save. Next are the videos. Click on the plus videos in the videos tab. You can add up to 5 videos by selecting from your asset library or pasting your YouTube video link in here or uploading your own. There's also an option to create a video from templates or uploaded clips and even add a voiceover. I highly recommend you add your own videos because if you don't, what can happen is Google will just auto-generate videos for you, and those can perform pretty badly. So now I'm just going to add the videos from the asset library and click save. After you've uploaded your images and videos, you should add assets. These make your ad bigger and more clickable. First are site links, and when you click on the more asset types, you will see the other ones too. So always include site links, callouts, promotions, price assets, and structured snippets. They don't take long to set up, but they can make a huge difference in your overall performance. Now, if you need more help on writing high-performing ad assets, I've got you covered. Check out the link in the description below for my full guide on Google Ads assets. Now for call to action, in this case I'm going to choose Shop Now. And next up, you need to point Google towards the people you want to reach. And you do that by adding signals. Signals can be search themes your ideal customers might be searching on Google, and audience signals. I'll add some search themes in here. And for audience signals, you can use saved audience signals if you have them, or you can create new signals by adding your data like website visitors or customer lists. You can also include Google's interests and detailed demographics audiences. For example, I'll choose here bathroom accessories in-market audience. That is, people who are interested in purchasing bathroom accessories. You can also create a new segment audience by clicking here on New Segment, and then you can add in your related keywords that your customers might be searching on Google and also websites they might be visiting. Give that segment a related name and save it so you can use it in this and in future campaigns. In this case, I'm just doing this as an example, so let me click cancel to not save this. And here in the demographics tab, you can choose gender and the age group of the audience. If you want to use this audience signal for future asset groups in PMax campaigns, you should save it by specific name over here. Okay, once you've added everything you wanted for your asset group, click Next. Set your daily budget by choosing Set Custom Budget. Now figure out a monthly budget that you're happy to test with for 2 to 3 months, and then work back to the daily spend equivalent and then put that in here. Finally, review everything one last time and then click Publish. Your products are now live across Google's biggest channels like search, shopping, YouTube, and display. After you publish your campaign, Google doesn't know right away who's most likely to buy from you. It does need a bit of time to test different people, searches, and placements. This period is called the learning phase. How long it lasts is really dependent on how many conversions you get. If you only get 20 sales per month, it could take Google a couple of months to really dial in. If you get 200 sales per month, learning phase could be over in just a week or two. So it really depends. I normally advise waiting for at least 50 plus conversions, or 1 month, whichever one comes first, before you can start seeing the true performance level of your campaign. Now let's talk about the campaign's optimization and the numbers that really matter. Forget about cost per click or click-through rate, those are just noise. What truly matters are these 4 things. Spend, how much money you put in. Revenue, also known as conversion value in Google Ads, this is how much money comes back. ROAS, or return on ad spend, and this tells you how much you earn for every $1 spent on ads. Conversions, the number of sales actually happening in Google Ads. Now the first 3 there, the spend, revenue, and return on ad spend, tell you if your campaign is actually making money or not. Conversions are there to show you if the data is strong enough to trust. For example, if you see a low ROAS, but you only have 2 conversions, that's not enough data to judge. You need at least 30 to 50 conversions before the ROAS you're looking at becomes more meaningful. In the beginning, you're going to want to use the bidding strategy called maximize conversion value, as we set in the example before. That simply tells Google to try and bring you the most sales revenue possible from the budget that you set. When you're on maximize conversion value with no target ROAS, when you raise your budget, Google can reach more people and usually bring you in more sales. But in order to spend more by reaching a wider audience, Google will increase your cost per click bid. So that means you're going to pay more per click. You get more clicks and sales, but you pay more per click, so your return on ad spend can go down. And when you lower your daily budget while using the maximize conversion value bid strategy, all the opposite things happen. Google lowers the cost per click bid and shows your ads to fewer people. That means you might get fewer clicks and sales overall, but you should also see your return on ad spend increase as you'll be paying less per click. So while you're running on maximize conversion value, any changes to your daily budget will directly affect your cost per click bid, which is why you have to be very careful with budget changes during this phase. Don't move your daily budget up or down too fast or too much. Ideally, no more than about 10 to 20% per week. The goal here is to collect enough conversions so that you can later switch to target return on ad spend, target ROAS. Target ROAS is a smart bidding strategy where you tell Google exactly what return on ad spend you want to achieve. For example, I want $5 back for every $1 I spend. You give Google that goal, and then Google adjusts your cost per click bids up or down in real time to try and hit that goal. Ideally, again, you want at least 50 conversions in the last 30 days before making the switch to target ROAS. If you're close to 50, you can test switching, but if you're way below that, just stay on maximize conversion value until you have more data. Once you switch to target ROAS, things get easier. Budget changes no longer directly affect the cost per click bid or the return on ad spend because Google is now aiming to keep your return steady. That means you can scale your budget much faster, even 100 to 200% scaling per week if you want to. The most effective approach once you're on target ROAS is to set your daily budget so that's about 30 to 50% higher than your average daily spend. And then that way, if there's a sudden surge in sales on a busy day, your campaign is ready to capture it. Now, after managing millions in ad spend, I can tell you that this is the proven path to real growth. Start with your maximize conversion value bid strategy, gather enough conversions, then transition over to target ROAS and scale with confidence. Now, a beginner level Performance Max campaign for your e-commerce store should start generating a decent chunk of extra profit for you if you're doing it correctly. Once you've gotten there, you can start thinking about more advanced strategies. For example, Performance Max campaign segmentation, launching dedicated search and retargeting campaigns, optimizing your data feed for keyword richness, and a whole lot more. I teach all this stuff and more here on my YouTube channel and also on my weekly newsletter. So if you want to get all the latest Google Ads and e-commerce growth strategies direct from me, be sure to check out the link in the description below this video and sign up for my weekly newsletter. Now, when it comes to Google Ads for e-commerce, beginners often fall into these same traps. And these mistakes can cost you a lot of money if you don't watch out. So let's go through some of the most common mistakes you need to avoid if you want to turn Google Ads into a profit center. The first big mistake is starting out without conversion tracking. If you don't track your sales accurately inside Google Ads, you'll have no idea which ads are making you money and which ones are wasting your budget. So if you don't have conversion tracking set up, follow the guide in the description below this video, make sure you've got it right. And a common problem related to this is setting up conversion tracking but not tracking revenue correctly. If Google Ads only shows you that a sale happened, but not how much money that sale brought in, you're still flying partially blind. You need to see both the number of sales and the exact revenue, otherwise you can't measure your true return on ad spend. A big mistake I also see a lot is choosing the wrong bidding strategy. Many people decide to set their campaign to maximize clicks, thinking more clicks means more sales. But that's not true, because you can just end up optimizing for all the cheap clicks that don't actually lead into sales. So that's why you always want to use maximize conversion value, so that Google is chasing real buyers and revenue, not empty traffic. The next most common mistake I see is people forgetting to add negative keywords. Negative keywords are words or phrases that you tell Google to avoid so your ads don't show up for the wrong searches. Inside your Google Ads account, under the Insights and Reports tab, you can look at the search terms report. This shows you the exact phrases people typed in before clicking your ad. If you see searches that don't match your business, for example, someone typing in backpack repair service, and you are selling leather backpacks, you can mark those as negative keywords. That way, Google stops showing your ads to people who are never going to buy from you in the first place. If you don't do this, you're going to waste money paying for irrelevant clicks that were just never going to turn into sales. One of the other most damaging mistakes I see is judging your campaign too quickly. Google Ads needs time to test and adjust before it finds the right buyers for you. That early testing period, the learning phase, usually lasts a couple of weeks if you get hundreds of conversions per month. Or it can last a month or two if, say, you only get 25 conversions per month. Now remember my rule of thumb, which is to not judge anything until you've had at least 50 conversions or 1+ month of runtime, whichever one comes sooner. During this time, your numbers might jump up and down, and that's completely normal. But many business owners look at daily sales, see a dip, and rush to make big changes, or even worse, they shut the campaign down after just a week or two. Both are big mistakes. Daily numbers simply aren't reliable, and campaigns that look weak in the beginning often get stronger as Google collects more data. The right way to judge performance is to zoom out and look at either 30-day windows or windows that show at least 50+ conversions, the more the better. Only then can you actually trust what the numbers are saying about your return on ad spend and overall performance. And finally, many people waste time tweaking tiny details like changing a headline by one word or swapping images back and forth while ignoring the big levers that actually drive growth. What really matters are your budget, your bidding strategy, your campaign structure, and your product feed. Time spent on getting those things right will bring a much higher ROI on your time than fiddling with small settings. I've been in the Google Ads game for over 15 years now, 12 of those years running my own agency. And in this video up here, I've condensed all those 15 years into one video that brings you all the most important lessons in Google Ads. So check out this video if you want to see what it really takes to run profitable Google Ads. And thanks for watching, guys and girls. I'll hope to see you on the next one.